Yo, what's up guys? It's Henry here, back with another Let's Play video, and today we're going to be Let's Playing how to use Blender to make stuff that is going to be used for Mayocap. Thank you for watching. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so first you're going to go to download Blender right here. Don't go to blender.com because that will pull up a website of a bunch of blenders. You're going to want to go to blender.org. Blender.org, you're going to click download for whichever OS operating system works for you. It'll walk you through that process. It'll do like a installer thing. And then you're going to download it, and then you're going to get it as an app right here. Next up, you're going to go to Sketchfab, all right? This is a sneak peek at what we will be using. Sketchfab has literally everything. Most of the 3D models that we will be using, in fact, maybe all, I'm going to be using like an online library like this in some way. Please don't spend any money on 3D models unless you really want to, but I would not, because there's so many free ones out there. Like literally any 3D model that you use. Yeah, you can Indiana Jones. These are a couple things that's going to be used in our show. Beavis, literally, like, it's free. You see that download? It's completely free. You're going to want to click this downloadable filter so that it'll only show the ones that you can plausibly download. So today we're going to be doing Bidoof. I'm going to be showing you how to kit bash a little bit, as Novi-san sometimes likes to talk about. And now we have Bidoof right here. Let's use Wii Pokemon Battle Revolution. That sounds fun. And then we're going to be using GLTF as the format for downloading into Blender. So download this. It's going to show up here. Then go boom. Open this puppy up. And let's rename it something so we know what this is. So this is like real Bidoof stuff. And then just remember that. We'll be opening it shortly. So let's say there's a sketch, there's a character that needs Bidoof in it, so I just look up Bidoof and I download it right there. Okay, but the sketch also has Bidoof putting on a hat or wearing a hat at some point, so I need a hat. So I'll search up hat, and then, oh yeah, this top hat looks pretty nice. Okay, I'll download it. Once again, GLTF, that's the most consistent format that we'll be using. Top hat, I may have installed a different one already. So open this up. Let's rename it. Actual top hat, no joke. So now we have real Bidoof stuff and actual top hat, no joke. We have the objects that we're going to be putting together in our scene. So let's open up Blender. Normally you're going to see, let's just do a new one just for the sake of being new. Okay, so you're going to see this with the cube and the little thing. None of that matters. Use the marquee, click and drag to highlight everything, then press X to delete. X is going to come in handy very much. It's a shortcut that you're going to need. So let's import our stuff, shall we? So we're going to go to File, Import, GLTF2. Then we will go to Desktop, where it was saved. No, we're going to go to Downloads, where it was saved. So see, actual top hat, no joke. We're going to double click on that, and textures and scene.gltf, we're going to want to click scene.gltf, import. And now we have this in our scene. I'm going to move it off to the side so to make space for Bidoof so I can see both objects individually. Real quick, how to use Blender. If you have a mouse, I would recommend getting a mouse because a mouse is a lot faster than using the trackpad. You can use the trackpad, just I would get a mouse. Click the middle scroll wheel, click it down, and then move it around to rotate. Roll in, roll out to zoom in and out. And press the left click mouse button to select, as with everything else on the internet, and it's pretty intuitive, I'd say. So to move objects around in Blender, you're going to select it, then you're going to press G for grab. Then you can move the mouse around to move this object around. I'm going to press Command Z to stop that. What I want to do is I just want to move it around this X axis, so I'm going to hit G, then I'm going to hit X, and then now it will only move, even though my mouse is moving up and down, it's going to lock to the X axis, so I'm going to put it over there. Let's import the other one. So where was it? It was downloads. real bdoof stuff, and then once again, all GLTFs, most of them will come in scene.gltf, and you're just going to click that. And now there's regular bdoof. So I want both of these facing me, which is perfect. So, and then here's another important part. Press shift and then the mouse scroll wheel to pan. So right now shift is down. And this lets me pan. Rotate, pan. Rotate, pan. And then you can I'm just showing off now. Yeah, it's very impressive skill, I know. So we're going to go to, these are both Sketchfab models. This one is the hat, okay? So what we wanted, they'll all come in these little grouping little symbols, like it's this Adobe Acrobat looking thing, and we don't want these there. We just want these triangle objects right here. It'll be object 1, object 2. So I'm gonna highlight this. You can also click on it, use the drag, click and drag to highlight everything. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna press Alt or Option P. And then this basically, all this does is get rid of the groups, is what's important right now. Clear and keep transformation. If you clear parent, it'll snap back, so clear and keep transformation. And now, as you can see, the object is now outside of the grouping right here. So we're going to shift click to select multiple at one time, then we're going to press X again to delete. So now this object is unparented and free to get a graphic design degree or whatever it wants. It doesn't have a parent telling it what to do. Next up is this bdoof model. As you can see, that's the objects that are hiding, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to highlight everything, and we're going to hit Option P, clear parent. Boom. And then we're going to get rid of these pesky things. Same way, hit X. So these are bdoof. So I'm going to name things so that I remember. Just double click on the name. So hot. Then body oof. And then body eye. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so next step is I want to, this bdoof is a nice character. I'm going to turn on materials up here. This is just the viewport settings. So this is the wireframe, regular blob mode materials. So now this is where you can see the color. So I'm going to take this hat. Let's put this hat on bdoof. So I'm going to grab with G, press Z to move it along the Z axis, which is up. It goes X, Y, and then Z. So I'm gonna grab it and move it over bdoof's head. Then I'm gonna scale it down. The way you scale it is you press S for scale. You scale it down. You can make it bigger or smaller. I'm just gonna look around. Okay, it's right over bdoof's head. Grab Z. Boom. Hey, look at that. Oh, he's so helpful. Look at that guy. So now that we have all of the pieces in place, now we can start baking the textures so that basically the way UV maps work is it's basically you have a rock and you have paper, okay? Paper beats rock. Paper goes over the rock. Right now we have 2 rocks. This is what the rocks are. Literally just basic shapes and vertices and stuff. The paper is what makes these, and they're literally just flat pieces of paper that wrap around the object, and that's why it's called UV maps. And so if you take the wrapping away, the paper away, you're just left with the rock. So what we want to do is we have 3 rocks right now, and we have 3 papers, and we want to get it into 1 rock and 1 paper. That's the best way I can describe it. So the way you're going to do this is you're going to select one of them. You're going to go down to this little green triangle symbol, which is data. Not unlike the artistic movement following World War I, the data movement. You're going to go to UV maps. Click that, and you'll see UV map right here, and you're going to add a new one. Call it baking or bacon. I call mine bacon because I'm funny. Then I click bacon. Boom. So now I copied this. All you have to do to copy stuff in Blender is hover your mouse over it. Like, you don't even have to click it, and then hit Command C. It's copied. So then you're going to go down to the next object in your scene, do the same thing, plus paste. Then you're going to do it again. Next one, paste. Boom. After you're done with that and all of these are selected, make sure bacon or baking is selected. Then you're going to go to UV editing. UV editing right here. And what we're going to do is basically, I'm not going to explain like the pictures, how the pictures all work right now. You're going to click X, get rid of the picture. Then you're going to highlight everything. And then press Tab to go into edit mode where you can see all the vertices. If you want to play around, you can hit grab, same as last time, and move the object and change the object in so many wonderful ways, but I would not recommend it, at least for now. So if I hit A, we can see the UV mapping on every single thing in the scene. Okay. The thing about UV mapping is that where the vertices overlap in this image, it's going to mess up the final texture bake. So we have to do some work where we scale each of the objects' vertice maps so that nothing is overlapping. So the way I'm going to do that, the method I kind of use is I go hat and I go into tab, then I press A to highlight all the vertices, and then I like to go like a clock, which sounds stupid, but I grab these vertices and put them up. So 12 o'clock is full. Okay. Now I'm going to go up and go to that one. I'm going to click tab to go out of edit mode. This one, tab to go back into edit mode on this one. Click A to highlight the vertices. Now 12 o'clock is done, so I'm going to move these over here. Perfect. Tab, click off, click on, tab, A, and it's just this, so I'm going to move it over here. So now when I highlight all of them, and I can shift click to do that, I'm going to press tab and then A, so now I can see everything. I can see everything. So all we're going to want to do is we're going to hit this, scale it down by pressing S once again, scale it down. Then we're going to put that there. We're going to highlight this, scale it down, put that there. Highlight this, scale it down, or we don't really need to put that there. We can scale up the parts that we want to be emphasized. Just make sure it lies in between this grid. If there's stuff outside of this grid, it will not work. Word of caution. So we're going to add a new image right here. New image, bidoof, diffuse. Type the word diffuse in there somewhere. That's common standard. And I would go 3000 because it's enough that it looks good enough. There won't be too much phasing or blurriness. If you have too low of a resolution, sometimes it can get blurry, but it's sketch comedy, so nobody's going to really care anyway. I just bump it up for fun. New image, boom. So now it's going to be on this black screen, and that's okay for now. So now we're going to go to shading. Okay. And look how beautiful, look how nice he is. Okay, so next, you don't have to worry about this. I'm still clicking down the middle mouse button to move around. I'm going to do Shift A. Then I'm going to go to texture, image texture right here. Click image texture, move it to where I want it, then place it down with left click. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to go to this little picture button, click be diffuse, which I just created. Boom. And then it's selected. It has the white outline around it. This is very important. Before you move on to the next one, make sure this is selected. Now I'm going to copy this image, just Control C. Then I'm going to go to the other objects in the scene and then paste it. And then make sure I click on it so it has that white outline. And I'm going to do that with the other objects and click. So after this, we go to render. We're going to switch from Eevee to cycles because cycles is what can bake things and Eevee can't because it's lame. We're going to go to bake. We're going to switch it from the bake type from combined to diffuse. I'm not really going to explain any of this because it doesn't really matter. But turn off direct and indirect and leave color on. And so now there's 3 things that you're going to have to check before you hit this little bake button. I know it's tempting, but you're going to have to hold off. One, make sure all of these shading tabs, once again, are selected and have that little white border around them. Make sure all objects in the scene are selected, so make sure they're not gray or they're one of these colors and they're selected. And then I would go through every single one and say, okay, make sure that bacon UV map is selected. Boom, that's selected there. Boom, selected there. So we're good to go. We meet the requirements, and we're going to go to render and hit bake. And so what this is going to do, I think you'll see it show up right here. Yes. And as it bakes, so this is now the new big piece of paper that we have for the entire object. So now it's not what it was, is now like these little rocks had paper just for those rocks, but now that rock is part of a massive entire thing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to apply this new piece of paper to every single object. So let's go to hat. Let's copy the image texture once again. So I'm going to press Control C on this guy. Then I'm going to press X out of this material. It's going to turn all white, kind of like Mario getting married in Mario Odyssey, for those that get that reference. Then you're going to go boom, Command V, and then we're going to put color into base color. This is a node system. Just, you don't need to know that much about it. Just do it. Oh my gosh, oh no. Why is the eye in the middle of the hat? This looks all wrong. Hold your horses, bucko. Go to data. That's because this UV map is active, but this is selected. So you need to activate this UV map. And look at that. Good as new. I told you so, all right? And then you're going to do that with every single... Name this material. This is just go up to this spot and say big bidoof material. Boom. And then you can go to the other ones and then switch the material. Big bidoof material. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Why is he all black? Then I can go to body eye. Switch material. Big bidoof material. Oh, we can't see. So now every single object in the scene is using this massive texture map instead of using their own individual texture maps, which is what we want. After this, we're going to go to layout. We're going to highlight every single object, and we're going to click Command J and join them. So now there's one rock. If you look up here, there's a single rock and a single material, which is the only possible way that this can go from Blender to other fields like Motion Builder and Unreal Engine and stuff like that. You can do it without making it into one big object, but like this is the most consistent way, and we're not going to run into any problems if this is the way we do it. A couple things. One, delete the UV maps that are not being used. Sometimes you'll have more than one. Delete anything that's not bacon, which is what you bake this onto, okay? Boom. Next up, we're going to go to UV editing. Make sure the image is saved. Save this image. Somewhere you will find it. So I'm going to say bidoof diffuse. I'm going to save it to desktop. Save as image. It's very important that you save that image or else it's not going to work, and you'll see why in a second. Okay, so now we have everything. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to click Command A, and you're going to that just means apply, and you're going to click all transforms. It's a Blender thing that basically means everything we did is valid. Next up, we're going to go to File, Export as an FBX. Then it's very important that we use FBX because that's what's the universal kind of 3D modeling thing. That's going to be able to be used by Unreal Engine and stuff. And then we're going to go, let's go bidoof, and then our naming convention here is to be rigged because it's not rigged yet, and that's the next step in the process. Okay, a couple of these export options are very important. We're going to go to path mode and change that from auto to copy. Then I'm going to hit this little puppy right here, this little boxy thing. That's embedding the texture, so that tells it to keep the textures with the object. We're going to hit apply transforms for luck, and then we're going to put this somewhere we can find it and we know. So let's put it in our desktop. Export FBX. Okay, so now we've saved the image, the texture image, and we've saved the FBX. We're going to go to our desktop, and this is bdoof bitdifuse right here, and this is bdoof to be rigged. So we're going to find both of these objects. Now what we're going to do before we upload them is we're going to compress them. So there's a different way to do this on Windows, but for Mac, basically all you need to do is get these into the same zip file no matter how you do it. On Mac, all you do is press compress. It's going to do archive. Let's rename this. Going to rename it to bdoof to be rigged. Okay. Then what you're going to do is we have this crazy OneDrive link in the Discord. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. You're going to go to the Discord, go to Mayocap. As you would assume, go down to links, and you're going to find the OneDrive link. This is where you do this. You're going to go to 3D Models Unrigged, and then Creator Upload, Files Upload. What was it called? bdoof to be rigged.zip. Definitely do the zip one, not the FBX. So now the reason we zip it is so that the rock and the paper can be in the same zip file, and a program like Mixamo or a program like Motion Builder knows where to get the color and the textures from. So upload bdoof to be rigged.zip. Boom. And now the riggers, the people who rig the models, can gosh, I don't want to say that ever again. The people who rig the models can open it up, and then everything they need will be right there, and your job is now over. So yep, that's basically the entirety of what you'll be doing. It doesn't take too long, and when you do it enough times, it gets very fast and very easy. So thanks for helping me out with this, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, everybody.